what's up, everybody? Welcome to Magic or Tragic. Thanks for tuning in. We have some Magic news to get to. First, I want to speculate on the possible signing of Speights. I'm pretty excited about that just because he's a former Florida Gator, and we love the Gators here on Magic or Tragic. And basically, he's kind of like Vucevic in that he's a stretch five. He's a really nice shooter for his size. Shoots to three pretty well. So a lot of people out there talking about shooting and whatnot. We did get someone again who's quote-unquote shooter, but we'll see if that works out with the style of play that the Magic are going to run. Nonetheless, he's going to add some depth at the bigger positions, which is something we needed. And I think different from Vucci, he moves a little bit better on and off the ball. He'll have a little more potential for being defensive-minded, I guess, under Vogel. Not saying that he's not a shot blocker or a rim protector by any means. Like, when you think of Speights, you don't think defense. But maybe he can progress the same way Vucevic did a little bit under Vogel with some work. So I'm interested to see that part from Speights, what kind of defense he's going to bring to this team, because he does shoot it pretty well. He has a nice offensive game for a big man. He's definitely going to improve not only the depth on this team, but one thing I was thinking about is in practice, when guys are practicing and competing. A lot of our guys didn't have to compete in practice. We have a few entitled players on this team, in my opinion, like Vucevic and Peyton, and even Fournier to an extent. Actually, even Aaron Gordon. Like, we have a lot of players that there was nobody behind them that would really push them, that possibly, hey, if I don't play well, this guy could take my job. We haven't had that in the past, and I think we added 3 players, Shelvin Mack, Jonathan Simmons, and now Speights. Will Speights be a starter? I mean, probably not. But nonetheless, in practice, I'm not saying Vucevic or any of our players didn't go hard in practice, but definitely now they gotta go hard. They don't have a choice, because there's some guys that's coming on this team that are hungry and they can play. And looking at the last 3 players we brought in, the Magic have definitely addressed a big need to me, and that's getting a little tougher. Speights, Simmons, Mack, you can't push these guys around. So I'm happy to see that, and I'm happy to see, we don't like to use the word culture change, but the culture is changing. Is it going to translate to wins this year? That's going to remain to be seen, but the culture is changing. I also like the fact that it seems like we're building not only for the future, but we're keeping the present in mind. We're not completely tanking. So I really like what the front office is doing this offseason for the Orlando Magic. 2 other things I wanted to get to. Elfrid Payton has changed his number from 4 to 2. When you first hear that, to most people, it doesn't seem like a big deal. I'm going to make a big deal out of this. One of my things when I watch players is I like to look at body language. And first, Elfrid's body language always bothered me. Like, his head is always down. Even after good plays, his head is down. When he's walking off the floor in timeouts, a lot of times his head is down. You never really see him get in anyone's face, not his teammates' face or anyone on the opposing team. He has this very laid-back demeanor. The only time you really see him get excited is to run half court to give Aaron Gordon that handshake. And I can't stand that handshake, by the way. So, Elfrid, I've obviously never met him. He kind of seems like, from the outside looking in, if I had to read body language and stories I've heard, that maybe he's like a kind of emotional, or I hate to use the word sensitive, but maybe a little sensitive or something. Like, he's got a lot he's really wired upstairs, a lot going on. So I'm saying all this to say this. If he's going into his 4th season and he wants to change his number back to the number he wore in college, like if he's still thinking about the college days, I don't know if that's a good thing. Now again, it could be nothing there. I could totally be overkilling this. Maybe he just wanted to change his number. But, you know, like I say, when I watch Alfred and you hear about stuff that goes on behind the scenes, it seems like maybe this is like a sign of some sort. The Magic have given him every opportunity to be not only the point guard, but the leader of this team for as long as he's been here. So if he's looking for a rebirth or some extra motivation, it's kind of like, you know, why? Like, I know the fans are hard on him. I'm hard on him. I don't know if he hears it or not. I don't know if he feels pressure going into this season. But I just find it a little peculiar that now he's deciding to make a number change. Let me know if I'm looking too much into that or not. I'm curious about that. And the last thing I want to touch on is all this Kyrie Irving news. First, let me say, I would love the Magic to be able to get Kyrie or acquire Kyrie Irving. I think Kyrie Irving is one of the more underrated players in this league. However, I am real about this fact. I know this, and we should have all learned this from Serge Ibaka. No superstar free agent, even if they're traded here, if they're forced to have to play for us, is going to stay when their time is up. If we trade for Kyrie, we're going to trade a lot of pieces. He's going to come here, he's going to play for a year, we're going to get hype, and we may win some games. But at the end of that year, he's going to leave. It doesn't matter if it's Kyrie, LaMarcus Aldridge, whomever. I've heard a lot of names the Magic should try and acquire in a trade. Those big name players are not, the Magic are not ready for those players yet. You know, we just don't have anything to offer them long term when they could go to other cities and play with much better players. Now, if the Magic go out this year and win a lot of games, let's say they sneak into the 8th seed or something crazy like that, and let's say, you know, Jonathan Simmons has this breakout year, like he averages 20 points a game, and Jonathan Isaac shows all this superstar potential, and Aaron Gordon takes another step, then after all of that, maybe there'll be a superstar out there who say, hey, the Magic made the playoffs last year, they got this nice young nucleus, and Jonathan Simmons has stepped up his game, and I like Aaron Gordon, and Jonathan Isaac is going to be a beast. Then maybe we can talk about free agents. But until then, it's unlikely. Like, even if we were to pull off some miracle of a trade to bring him here, it's very unlikely we'll be able to keep Kyrie Irving. So let me know what you think about that. And thanks for listening. Thanks for subscribing. Please continue to like or dislike. And as always, go Magic.